Hi, it's Derpy Moose 99 here with episode 7 of Factorio Bobs and Angels. In this episode, we're going to start off by building a clay bricks installation, and we should finish up by putting in a bronze installation. In the last episode, we laid out the where the big bus is going to go here, and now we're going to start sort of building in context of the bus. So if I go look at the map here, I believe what I want to do is put clay right about in here, and then we can pipe water in from the lake up above. So let's go into helmod and see what our recipe looks like. So we add a recipe, and I have to remember where to find the bricks. There we go, clay bricks. Now I'm just going to put, I don't know, say 1 per second in for the moment. No, let's just use our standard basic transport belt, see what that gives us. Okay, we'll change that to steel furnaces. Okay, and we'll change this to assembly machine 2s. And lime from blast furnaces. Now, we're going to be able to make blast furnace 2s as soon as we get clay bricks, so let's just do that. Okay, and the washing machines. Again, let's plan for level 2s. Okay, light melt water, more washing machines, level 2. Concentrated mud water, another washing machine level 2. Heavy mud water, another washing machine mark 2. Viscous mud water. Interesting. Mud and water, or I don't actually think that's true. Okay, let's hang on to that just for a second. Let's run over to the water. Now, I've pre-built a pump, or I should say a seafloor pump. And I believe this, if we put a pipe on here, that gives us viscous mud water. Okay. So if we go back into helmod here, this viscous mud water is going to come from a seafloor pump. So this is the basic string that we need here. Doesn't look too complicated. We also need sand and clay, okay? So clay is going to come from concentrated mud water. Okay. We mark 2s. So somewhere up here we had concentrated mud water right there. Okay, and this says 6. It's fairly comprehensive, okay? And this is going to come from more washing machines. And heavy mud water from, okay. And viscous mud water, okay. So there's going to be 2 rows so far. So that got us clay and lime. And sand is going to come from thin mud water. And that is going to come from there. Okay, I'll just convert these into level 2s. Stop hitting the wrong dang button. Alright. Oh, it looks like our science is finished. Let's just hit the T and stop that from blinking. Okay. What I could see from the formulas is there's a lot of redundancy. So I'm just going to go on pause and kind of figure out, make some notes here, and figure out how many of each we're going to need, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, so here's a visual representation of what we're going to need here. So basically we start with a machine that gives us heavy mud water from viscous mud water, then concentrated mud from heavy mud, light mud from concentrated, and then thin mud water from light mud water. And then that goes into 3 machines that are going to make limestone for us. So that was one string. The other string was to get to the clay, and that was the first 2 steps here plus 6 machines to do clay. And then the same 4 steps there, and then 2 machines to give sand. So that's basically what we need to put together here. Now it's going to be a little fun because we have to feed water in on one side here. But let's maybe start with this group and see how we make out. And I think leaving them maybe 1 apart, that works for me. And then because this has to go into 3, I think maybe we'll put a little reservoir there. So I've got some of these inline tanks. And then maybe we'll do a pump out of that. Leave 2 spaces in between. This was for the limestone. Okay, we need water as well too. So what I've done for water is we've got some offshore pumps. I've also got some of these water well pumps. But I think because we're going to be piping over let's see, we're going to need 3 seafloor pumps. Yeah, you know what? Let's just use, we have to use the seafloor pumps for this. So I think for the water, we're just going to use our new machines we made with our new level of circuit boards. So let's just do this. Okay. Now our water from down here. Okay, we're going to have to bring this over. Yeah, I think there's also byproducts. Of course, it's Bobs and Angels, there's always byproducts, but we have to deal with some byproducts here as well, too. So I believe out of here, we're going to get mud. So let's get that on a belt and get it going, maybe up for now. Offset some of these. Alright, so that should be mud out. Trying to keep off this patch of bobmonian here so we can use that for something else. Now, do these guys have mud byproducts? No, it's just the top ones here. Alright. So I think the strategy here, just for the moment, is we're going to silo this. Then once we have our three requirements going, we'll figure out how to put it all together as the next step. Now let's throw some lights in here before we forget. Alright, and I don't think... Let's see, we got a 5-second crafting time and we're going to output 3, so 1 inserter is plenty. And you can offset just for fun. Alright, now, I do believe that should be outputting limestone. Looks like we've made a piping mistake or error. Okay, we can see our heavy mud, our mud coming out. Now the mud we can't use right away, but we're gonna warehouse that off so we can use it for soil and other things later. Oops, I went a step too far there, I believe. These guys need light mud water, and that's thin mud water. Alright. That would be a boo-boo. Okay, let's just pause while I fix that. Alright, all fixed just like it never happened. So now we're producing limestone here. Okay, and more once we get that finished off. Okay, so clay again, let's just review so we don't make the same mistake. Needs concentrated mud water. And that's concentrated mud water. And that's from that guy. Okay, viscous mud water into heavy. And heavy into concentrated. And this needs concentrated. Okay. So let's get this guy hooked up. Let me quickly pause here and I'll run a couple more lines over. Okay, I've run over a couple more lines from the sea floor pumps, and we've got started on our setup for our clay. Okay, let's see if this all works here. Okay, now I figured out how to get the water in. Now I got to figure out how to get the product out here. Yeah, that's going to need a little more room. Okay, funky belts. Okay, you go over like that. And I think same thing, we'll just run this into one of these for the moment. Okay, we'll need a few more power poles. Okay, now, concentrated mud water. Okay, and you are not connected because there's an extra pipe there. Okay, there's our clay coming out. So limestone, clay. Okay, and our last step was sand. So let's take our third line over. Okay. Oops. Gotta use the right pipe there. Oh no, did I take care of? I did not. Okay, you can be offset if you want to be. Not really a great room over there, so let's try and bring this guy. Bring you across there. Okay. And we'll offset you, you. Okay, and like I said, we're just going to warehouse this for now, but we'll definitely use that mud later. Okay, there's byproducts. Now, this is giving us thin mud water, and that uses thin mud water. That's a happy coincidence. Okay, let's remember there's 2 for the sand. Let's get one of our little inline storage tanks here. And I think another pump. This can move over slightly. Then we're going to have okay, I missed that by just a hair. You know what? There's no reason for that to be that far away. Let's just do this. Okay, and our water. Okay, and you. And it's a little bit offset either way. Alright, now that's our 3. Now just going back into helmod for a second here. Let's look up here. So we have lime. Lime that we have to convert into limestone into lime using 3 blast furnaces. Alright, then everything, clay and sand, just go directly. So we'll need a line of 10 assembly 2 machines. Okay, so let's take care of, let's see, how many blast furnaces do I have? 2. Okay, just going to pause and I'll go run and get another blast furnace. Okay, I've got 3 blast machines, just trying to figure out how to lay this out here. Okay, and the recipe we need is lime from limestone. We're also going to have some carbon monoxide to take care of. Or dioxide, sorry. Okay, and how many of these are going to use a second? So 4 in 4 seconds. Not many, okay. Now the other deal we have to deal with, and since we're kind of way up here, so to speak, is coal. Okay, so let's go to our map here. So I think what I'm going to do for coal, yeah, we're just going to have to run a long line up here for now. That's until we get over here. We're going to tap. You know what? Let me just go off camera, and I'm not going to actually tap this 58 million coal down here and bring a line up to the bus. Might as well get the bus going. And hopefully we have enough yellow belts to cope with that. So just let me deal with that and I'll be right back. Alright, I've built a line of coal from this large patch here up down pretty much the center of the bus. Decided to run it right next to the railway track. So that's going to take a little while for that to make it to the end here. The coal's about, I'd say 2/3 of the way. So we can continue building and then that'll catch up. Let's just slow things down here. So the next thing we want to do here is take care of our byproduct, the carbon dioxide here. So I don't have any use for it right now. What I would like to do is collect it. Maybe we'll use a pump there. Okay, we'll pump it into a storage tank. And what we'll do with the storage tank is we'll put an overflow valve and a flare stack. That's just so we can see, maybe even 2. Okay, so all this is going to do is collect it here, and then when it exceeds 80%, it's going to flare it off. I'm just doing that to sort of, I guess, placehold the fact that we've got carbon dioxide available that we can use if we need it. But for all practical purposes, it'll just be flared off. Alright, now our output here. Now we're going to be going into 8 assembly machine 2s, we said. So we can probably put those somewhere around here. Let's space them out so we have room to work. Now we're going to have 3 inputs. And I believe with Bob's inserters at the level we're at right now. Yeah, okay, we can only go out 1. So we're going to have another input on this side. Okay, as well as an output. Okay, and these are going to be making unburnt clay bricks. Okay, and this will be a pickup from here. Yeah, how are these? These are producing 4 per 4 seconds, so only 1. Offset you. Okay, and that's 4. We need 8 total. Forgot to put the inputs on, that's okay. Okay. Actually, this one can come out this way. Okay, and that's our clay. Yeah, we won't get our lime out until that happens. Okay, and our last input is our sand. Okay, a little power redundancy now. Maybe we put some lights on. Okay, looks like our coal is coming, so our lime is coming. This guy's working. Okay, there's our first unburnt clay bricks. Now, I believe recipe calls for 4 steel furnaces. Okay, actually I'm just going to wipe this out for the moment. Let's just do our standard burner inserters for the coal. Alright, and there we have it, clay bricks. So let's mark that on the map here. Right there. Okay, let's just watch this for a second. Looks to me like we've calculated that at least pretty close. Clean this up a bit. Oh, okay, I know what's going on here. So if you can see here, our lime isn't quite doing as well as the other ones. So let's just steal, actually let's let it run. I'm just gonna run down and get, you know what, let's just steal these guys. And our recipe for Blast Furnace Mark II, we'll have to run down and get some steel. Okay, I'll just run down. And what I'm doing is upgrading these to Blast Furnaces too. I'll be right back. Okay, I went and grabbed some circuits and some steel. And let's just upgrade these. So, 1, 2, 3. Alright, all that messing around was because if we go back into helmod, I just had these at Blast Furnace 2s, and if they were Blast Furnace 1s, we would need an extra one, so that's why we did the quick upgrade once we had enough clay bricks to upgrade. So I'll just watch it again for a second here. This lime should make it all the way to the end. Okay, it is. And these guys are working now. Okay, and we've already accumulated around 800 or so clay bricks. Now we have that for all the metallurgy Mark II items. And let's go back into map mode just for a second. Maybe we could punch up our Jivelite crushing and sorting here. Okay, I'll do that off camera though. These are all Mark 1, so I'll go through and upgrade these and see if we can get a little more production out of this setup. Okay, I'm just going to pause here while I think about the bronze, and I'll be right back. Actually, just looking at the time here, around 30 minutes to do the clay and to run the coal down and stuff like that. So I think what I'll do is I'll end this here as episode 7. We won't actually get to the bronze in this episode, but I promise we'll do that next time. So my plan for next time would be to get bronze on the bus, maybe even do bronze and tin, because what I'd really like to do is get a robust belt factory going where we're making belts, undergrounds, and splitters. So if we get bronze and tin, we can get that set up because we have all the other ingredients. Okay, so there's our clay brick setup anyways. We can just have a quick little review of that. Oops, if we get out of map mode. Oh, well, I think of it too. We should take a blueprint of this. Don't stand on the belt when you're doing that. And we'll call this clay bricks. Okay, clay brick version 1. Okay, I've been Derpy Moose 99, and this was episode 7 of Factorio with Bobs and Angels. Thank you.